The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of Para-X, its affiliates, or its sponsors.
Oh, hell no!
Whatever.
The following program contains opinions expressed by the Dead Zone. If you find this broadcast offensive, lighten up, candy ass.
What?
Oh my gosh.
It's a radio show.
Hell yeah! That's what I'm talking about.
Power up request received. Initiating systems. Powering up transmitters. Welcome to the Dead Zone.
Wait a minute. Hear this.
Dead Zone, August 15th. Welcome back. Tonight we have Nick Sarlo, the lead investigator at Paraflix, YouTube channel, I believe. It's the first time Nick's been on. Nick's the star of the TV series Shadowhunters Paranormal Investigations and events for Paraflix. So we're going to talk to him and find out what that's all about. First time he's been on. But first, here's Michelle with the paranormal news. Paranormal news. Maybe, just maybe, one day I'll be able to talk like a human being.
Yo, what's going on, guys? This is your man, Vincent M. Ward, and you're listening to The Dead Zone.
Hey, it's Michelle again, doing paranormal news and events on The Dead Zone. This week's episode is brought to you again by me, Michelle Poi, Associate Broker at Seasons of Indiana Real Estate. Contact me for all your real estate needs through my Dead Zone email, michelle.deadzone@gmail.com. That's Michelle with two L's, MICHELLE .deadzone@gmail.com. This episode is also brought to you by K.D. Wakefield, the author of a new suspense thriller called Murderous Masquerade. This is available in paperback or Kindle, so order your copy today on Amazon.
Paranormal news.
Hey guys, I was doing some research trying to find a recent paranormal news article that I could read for you guys and talk about, but I really only found one that was of any interest to me on Coast to Coast AM. This was posted June 17th, 2021. Murder suspect in England blames centuries-old gin for double slaying. A murder suspect in England has put forward something of a strange supernatural defense for a double slaying that he is accused of committing, as the man contends that a centuries-old gin is really responsible for the crime. According to a local media report, here we go again with names that I cannot pronounce. Shahbaz Khan is currently on trial for the murders of Dr. Saman Mir Sakarvi and her daughter Vian Mangrio, who were killed in October of 2020 in the community of Burnley. A contractor by trade who had done previous work at the family's home, he had been seen entering the residence on the day prior to the crime, and in a subsequent search of his house was discovered to be in possession of jewelry and money that had belonged to Dr. Sakarvi. Prosecutors in England understandably believe that they have an airtight case against Khan, which likely explains why he contends that a jinn was actually to blame for the double murder. Upon his arrest, Khan was placed in a jail cell wherein he threw himself across the room and onto his bed in an incident that he claimed was an attack by an invisible evil entity. In an interview with police the next day, the accused killer began undulating and informed them that they were speaking to a 620-year-old supernatural spirit named Robert Smith Wood, who happened to live in Dr. Sakarvi's home. The entity went on to claim that he had grown upset with alterations made to the residence and, in turn, smashed a mirror as well as moved a table to indicate his displeasure with the changes. At some point following the interview, Khan apparently reclaimed control of his body, as he later insisted that he had no idea how the mother and daughter were killed. Asserting that they were perfectly fine when he left the residence, he argued that the jinn infesting their home must have committed the crime. As one might imagine, prosecutors are not buying Khan's story, arguing to the jury at his currently unfolding trial that the man's actions while in custody were simply his way of trying to set up his defense to say he had been attacked in his cell by a supernatural spirit. They went on to muse to the court, was it real in his head that he threw himself across his cell to his bed, or was it a feeble attempt to pretend there was something wrong with his mental state? Ultimately, they called Khan's defense absolute nonsense, declaring that Dr. Sakarvi and her daughter were not killed by supernatural spirits. Beyond the pilfered property found in the man's possession, prosecutors also suggest premeditation on the part of the accused killer, as, following the double murder, the family's home had been set on fire, while web searches on his phone centered around whether or not fire could destroy DNA. And so, unless Khan's attorney can somehow find a way to get Robert the Jinn to take the stand, he's likely to be headed off to prison in the not-too-distant future.
Whatever.
Yeah!
Now, I tried to find out if there were any other recent reports of demonic possession being claimed as the reasoning behind their actions. And what I did find was on WOWO.com. This is a radio station. They did a very short story back in November 15, 2018, called Suspect Claims Demonic Possession in Murder Case. This was in Fort Wayne, Indiana. A Fort Wayne man accused of murdering his own mother last month told police he was possessed by demons and Adolf Hitler. That's according to court documents in the case of 34-year-old Jason Stace. The Journal-Gazette reports his lawyer filed the documents to ask a judge for a mental evaluation in order to see if he is competent to stand trial. The paper reports his attorney also indicated that they'll be relying on a defense of mental disease or defect. Police say that he admitted to punching, biting, and choking Joy Stace in their home on October 24th. So then I found another one. This is on NBCWashington.com. And this one, hold on, got to scroll up. This one was dated May 24th, 2018. Suspected gunman spoke online about demon possession. The man suspected of shooting 3 people inside an Oklahoma City restaurant before being fatally shot by bystanders had no obvious connection to the victims or the restaurant and was legally authorized to carry a firearm. Investigators are trying to determine a motive behind the Thursday night attack that wounded 4 people, according to Oklahoma City Police Captain Bo Matthews. He said the only interaction police had with the suspected gunman, 28-year-old Alexander Tilghman, was during a domestic assault and battery call when Tilghman was 13. A police report from that 2003 incident indicates that Tilghman was arrested after his mother told police he punched her several times during a dispute over a vacuum cleaner. Matthews said Thursday's shooting appeared to be random, but noted that Tilghman drove to the restaurant and wore protective gear for his ears and eyes. It looked like his mind was made up that he was going to discharge his firearm once he got there. Matthews stressed that the investigation was ongoing and confirmed that Tilghman's mental health was being looked into. On a Facebook page that police said belonged to Tilghman, the man posted a video in which he claims his television is possessed by the devil. The page uses the same profile photo as a YouTube channel where a man that appears to be Tilghman also describes demons possessing his TV and being surrounded by computers. He calmly begs for help from a real human, saying he's suicidal, lonely, and really losing it. The director of the LGBT rights group Freedom Oklahoma, Troy Stevenson, said Tilghman is the same man who distributed flyers across Oklahoma City earlier this year, warning of demons taking over people's bodies, and a reporter with the LGBT publication The Gaily conducted an interview in January with Tilghman, who warned of demons in clone transsexual bodies. Flyers with similar messages were plastered all over a vehicle that Tilghman drove, said Ryan Biolak, who said he frequently saw Tilghman at his apartment complex in northwest Oklahoma City. Biolak said he saw Tilghman acting strangely Wednesday night. He was twitchy, grabbing his hair, and acting weird. I was uncomfortable and definitely wanted to get away from him. A man who identified himself as Tilghman's brother told television station KOCO that Tilghman needed mental health treatment, saying, "Nobody reached out to him, he was crying for help." Tilghman was licensed as an armed security guard, which authorized him to carry firearms, said Gerald Conkler, General Counselor for the Oklahoma Council on Law Enforcement Education and Training. The council certifies law enforcement officers and other armed personnel across the state. Obtaining such a license requires a background check and at least 72 hours of training. A woman who answered the phone at the home believed to belong to Tilghman's mother declined to comment when contacted by the Associated Press. Police said Tilghman was armed with a pistol when he opened fire inside Louis on the Lake around 6:30 p.m. on that Thursday. A 39-year-old woman and 2 girls were shot and wounded, while an unarmed man broke his arm while trying to flee. All 4 victims were in good condition Friday, according to the police. Matthews, the police spokesman, praised the 2 citizens who retrieved firearms from their vehicles and shot Tilghman outside the restaurant. They were able to shoot the suspect and put an end to a very dangerous situation. Now, this story goes on quite a bit longer, so if you are interested in reading that, again, that is on NBCWashington.com.
Hello, this is Christopher St. Booth, and you're listening to The Dead Zone.
Now, the next story that I picked is one that's known a little bit more. This is the Hartford Courant. The killer's defense was demon possession. This was dated April 12, 2014, but the incident took place quite a bit before that. At first, the 1981 stabbing death of 40-year-old Alan Bono of Brookfield looked like a routine argument gone awry. Police referred to it as an open and shut case. But then came Arnie Cheyenne Johnson's defense, the devil made him do it. With the help of a pair of famed paranormal investigators, Johnson's defense attorneys sought to prove the 19-year-old killer was innocent because he had been possessed at the time of the killing. It would be the first time a possession defense was used in an American courtroom. Bono was stabbed several times in the chest and stomach on the lawn of Brookfield Kennels, which he managed, around 6:30 p.m. on February 16, 1981. About an hour later, police arrested Johnson, described as a small, blonde, fair-skinned man, on a murder charge. The 2 men had allegedly been arguing over Johnson's girlfriend before the stabbing occurred. Days after the stabbing, clergy members, paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren, Johnson's mother, and his girlfriend all claimed Johnson had been possessed at the time of the killing. The Warrens told police that since July 1980, Johnson had participated in at least 3 exorcisms involving his girlfriend's 11-year-old brother, David, who purportedly had been inhabited by 43 demons. During one of the rites, the Warrens told police Johnson leapt up and cried to the demon, "Come into me, I'll fight you, come into me." The Courant reported on February 27, 1981. From that time on, he was possessed, they said. Although police ordinarily would disregard such unusual claims, the Bridgeport, here's another one, diocese's involvement changed things. Brookfield priests called in the diocese after they heard the 11-year-old's story that he had recently entered a Newton house, sat on a waterbed, and suddenly was confronted by an elderly man with hooves, whose image was soon joined by men in grotesque costumes, the Warrens told police, according to the Courant. Shortly after Bono was killed, the diocese stopped commenting on the boy's case, but a spokesman did acknowledge that a priest had been assigned to investigate the boy. The spokesman told The Current it was the first time the diocese had assigned an investigator to look into diabolical possession. Johnson was present for the exorcisms and soon began to display violent behavior. At one point, he reportedly put his fist through a chest of drawers, growling like an animal, and then couldn't remember the incident, The Current reported. "We knew this case would end in tragedy. It was inevitable," Lorraine Warren told The Current. "But Arnie was the last one we would have ever thought it could happen to." Before Johnson was indicated on March 19, 1981, Waterbury lawyer Martin J. Manella offered to take on his case for free. Manella's plan to pursue the unprecedented demon possession defense was widely publicized. Manella said he hoped to subpoena the priest involved in the exorcism and hoped they would break tradition and speak about the rites. Though police investigated the Warrens' claims, they maintained that Bono was stabbed after a fight over Deborah Glassell, Johnson's 26-year-old girlfriend. In April, Johnson's lawyers gained permission to examine the clothing and tissue remains of Bono, who had been cremated. They said the absence of blood, rips, or wounds could prove that demons were involved. As the case progressed toward trial, the Warrens and Manella drew criticism from their peers who said they were involved in the case for personal gain. Typical of the criticism of the Warrens are comments by mentalist George Kresge, better known as the Amazing Kreskin, who argues that the Brookfield case is simply a means for the couple to prey on the superstitions of the public and build up their annual lecture revenues. They have an excellent vaudeville act, a good roadshow. It's just that this case more involves clinical psychologists than it does them, Kresge said in his story. Local attorneys said Manila was representing Johnson to rake in the publicity and that the legal community didn't take the possession defense seriously. Both the Warrens and Manila stood by their involvement in this case. Now, if you hadn't heard about this story, this is where The Conjuring had come from. Was the story behind that movie and book. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this. If you'd like to read the rest of that story, that's on current.com, COURANT.com. And that is it for this week. I hope you enjoyed the 3 parts of this story. Actually, I guess there were 4. The 4 parts of this story. And anyway, if you know of any real demonic possession that caused people to act out of character, email me at michelle.deadzone@gmail.com. michelle.deadzone@gmail.com. Thanks so much, guys.
The worms crawl in, the worms crawl out. They crawl all over your dirty snout, your chest. My name is David Walton. I am a vocal performer for What Are You Afraid Of? Horror and Paranormal show. And I have carried the burden of a terrible secret. I am actually what is offensively called a ghost. For years now I have concealed my ectoplasmic existence from my friends and family, in fear of a common prejudice against ghosts, or what we like to call the disembodied. I have existed frightened of being discovered, unable to do physical acts that the embodied take for granted, such as walking a squirrel, or drinking a glass of vitamin E milk fresh squeezed from a whale. I grew depressed and even considered acts of self-harm or reincarnation, which is suicide for the disembodied. Such movies as Ghostbusters and its sequels drove my feelings of disenfranchisement, and I began looking for help, only to encounter painful exorcisms in the houses I haunted. Then I met 2 good people, it says here, Fox and Phil, at What Are You Afraid Of? Horror and Paranormal. And they helped me take control of my own life. Now, it is my choice whether I wish to make phantom bounds in the night, appear at the foot of your bed in darkness, or make your walls bleed. If you are a disembodied person like I am, and you're living a lie, what are you afraid of can help you too. They are on at 9 p.m. on Friday nights at Para-X Radio, leaving plenty of time for midnight haunting activities, and can be found on all major podcast services. Listen to their paranormal stories, interviews, humorous sketches and horror fiction to know that you are not alone. And if you are a member of the embodied, don't forget, you are only a single heart attack or tumour away from becoming one of us. This is David Walton. See you on the other side, or as I call it, this side. And that is the end of a perfect day.
Your source for everything paranormal, Para-X.
Hey, this is Lee. If you missed tonight's show or any other show, you can always check them out in the archives on the Para-X Radio Network, or you can go to our website and click on any of your favorite apps.
all radio stations in town were palm trees, we'd be the one with the biggest coconuts.
Now,
here are the one, the only
Dead Zone.
All right, let's see if we get Nick on the phone. I think it's ringing. It's ringing.
Hello.
Hello? Can you hear me, Nick?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you doing, sir?
Perfect. I'm doing good. How are you? Long time and no talk.
Been a long time. I know. I mean, this is the first time we've had you on the show.
Yeah.
I apologize for the delay. Well, first off, I want to welcome you to the show. And before we get to Paraflix, tell us a little bit about your team.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about your team. Tell us about Shadow Hunters. How did that come to be? I think we lost you.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry.
Yeah, you got to get right on your phone, man.
There we go. I think. Can you hear?
Yeah. We'll get it figured out.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Thank you guys so much for. That's okay. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for having me on the show.
Yeah. No problem.
I've been a paranormal investigator for about 16 years now.
Right. Okay, can I interrupt you? I need you to get right on your phone. You're
got my own team.
It's really hard to hear you.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Now you're breaking up.
Is this better?
That's much better.
Hold on. There we go. Can you hear now?
Oh, yeah. Perfect now. Absolutely. So, Shadow Hunters. How did that come to be?
Yep. Okay. So Shadow Hunters became to be when I was just getting ready to graduate high school. I had my own personal experience. This girl named Jackie, who used to date my cousin, she was a really close part of the family, and they had broken up. And when they did, she ended up going out with another guy, but unfortunately 2 weeks before Christmas they got in a horrible car accident.
Oh, wow.
And because of the car accident, she ended up passing away. And when she passed away, it really, really hit me hard, because she was still really close to the family and all that. And my experience happened in July. I was just sitting in my room, and all of a sudden, and it was very, very hot outside. I still remember it like it was yesterday, and the window was open, and I was just watching TV, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it just got intensely cold in my room, and then it felt as if she kind of went in my room, and she had a very distinct smell about her.
So that's what
tipped you off. And then all of a sudden, all these thoughts of her were going. Right. And then all of a sudden, all these thoughts were going around in my head and all that. And then as quick as it came, it left. So it lasted maybe, 20 seconds. Right. And then it was gone.
Right.
And then after that, I was like, yeah, that's definitely something odd.
Something was weird. Yeah, that was out of the ordinary for sure. Yeah. But then from then on, that's when you decided to form your team.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's when I was just like, you know what, something's not right. That was definitely like the spirit or ghost or something, and I didn't believe in any of that before that experience.
Right. But you do now, obviously. You've had a lot going on. If I'm not mistaken, you didn't you used to or have in the past done some collaboration with I'm drawing a blank. I forget. Ursula.
We did. We did a lot of stuff with Ursula. We used to help Ursula with Chicago Ghost Tours all the time, and we used to help her out at her Chicago Ghost conferences, and it was definitely a lot of fun. Ursula, she's a great lady.
She's an awesome lady. Absolutely. Yeah. I assume now that things are well. I don't want to speak too soon because things are starting to backpedal, but things were getting back to normal. So you might be doing some more with her, or perhaps, I don't know.
We're hoping to. It's everybody's schedule's kind of busy now with with everything with COVID, and everything is different still. So we're hoping to.
Right. Just like I said, yeah, it looked like things were going to get better, but then suddenly now we've got the new strains and new mandates being held up, and who knows? I mean, I'm surprised that the events are still available to go to right now. You know.
Right. I think if you're fully vaccinated, though, that they're allowing you in, and
yeah.
I mean, you still got to wear a mask and all that.
Yeah. Are you guys?
So hopefully it'll kind of.
It's got to go away sometime. Yeah. Are there any events that you guys have lined up now? Say like the one we're going to be at in Fort Wayne, the Dead Con, and Mid America in Kentucky.
The one that we're going to. It's by Jason Snyder in Ohio.
Okay,
called
Post-Town.
Non-Con.
Yeah, Post-Town. Right.
Non-Con is supposed to be at Post-Town Elementary.
Right. Yeah, I did the artwork for it. Yeah.
Down there in Ohio.
Right.
So we're excited to go to that one. We're going to go there, and then at the end of October. We're going to the Warrens Paracon in Connecticut.
Well, that would be cool. That would be very cool, yeah. Huh. Finally getting to do things again.
We're excited to go to that one, and...
Yeah, finally getting...
What was that?
Finally being able to do something again after so long. It's weird. You know? It's exciting, but it's strange.
Oh, absolutely. But it feels good, though.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. All right. What is Paraflix? And I'm assuming that is out here, like our connection, right, as you can tell, our connection is terrible, so I don't really see a lot of things online. I'm assuming that's a YouTube show that you have?
New streaming service. That's specifically only for anything paranormal.
Okay. Okay, that's awesome. That's very good. Now, how long have you been doing that?
So you can get it on. You can get it on Ann. We just started Paraflix in May. I think it was May that we signed on.
Mm-hmm.
But you can get it on Android, Apple, and now it has finally gone to Roku.
Okay.
So people can watch it on actual television.
Right. Very cool. Yep. I'm trying to remember back in the beginning. So right now it's only. Anyway, I'm trying to remember back in the day,
Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, you went dead. I didn't know if you were still there or not. Like I say, back in the day, I'm trying to remember.
Oh.
Were you? It's the delay is killing me. Were you not part of the True Ghost Stories crew? The cast.
I was.
Okay, that's right. I know.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah. I mean, evidently a couple of the teams they're on now on like you say, like a streaming channel or something like that. So I guess they're doing what they wanted to do. Once again, though,
which is I'm really glad for them that they did finally get it off the ground. And,
right. That's been a long time coming.
Oh God, yeah, that was a long time, and I'm still really good friends with a lot of the teams, like Terry and Tracy from Florida, Team ESP, and really good friends with them.
Right. Yeah, there's no reason not to be. I mean, people, you move on, you do different things. And, yeah. Very cool. And you still work at Six Flags too, right?
I don't. I'm done with Great America. Now I work. Nope, not anymore. I work at first I worked at PetSmart for 8 years, and now I work at the vet hospital that's connected to PetSmart, Banfield.
Well, that's rewarding in itself, right?
Yeah, so like taking care of taking care of pets and all that kind of stuff, and because we were essential, we never closed. So PetSmart was always constantly open.
Right. Huh. Well, that's cool. That's good. Yeah, that's great. Tell me more about. Tell me more about. Go ahead.
Oh no, go for it.
I was just going to say, tell us more about the Paraflix. I mean.
So
really
with Paraflix, it's pretty much it's called the Netflix of the paranormal.
Okay.
It's $3.99 a month that you can rent, or you can do. I want to say it's $29.99 for an entire year.
Okay. And that's video streaming. That's not podcasting or anything like this. That's video streaming, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. It's all video streaming.
Yeah.
And it's great to do because we can film pretty much wherever. We put everything together from the music to subtitles to the intros, the outros, everything like that.
Yeah, you produce your own shows.
And then we send it in.
Right, you produce your shows.
So it's nice that exactly, which is nice.
Yeah.
So we don't have other people being like, "Oh, I need you guys to act scared," or "I need you guys to do this." No, like we're the real deal. This is what we do.
Right. It's not Travel Channel. Yeah. Whatever.
And there may even be right, and there may even be times where we don't even get any evidence, but we still show it because we still want to show people this is exactly what we went through to try to get paranormal evidence.
I mean, that is so important, though. I mean, there are so many people that want to get into the field that only want to do that because of what they see on TV, which is total BS, right? They don't see the real side of it. They don't see what really happens.
Exactly.
Yeah, we've said that for years, and but the only reason
it's like what we tell everybody.
I lost you again, buddy.
I was just gonna say it's like what we tell everybody, like because we'll do public ghost hunts where people can.
Right. I lost you again, bud.
We'll do public ghost. This is not good. But we'll do public ghost hunts,
right?
And with the public ghost hunts, we tell people all the time, ghost hunting can be like watching paint dry.
Right, and you're damn right.
It can take a very long time for anything to happen.
Right, if at all. Right, absolutely.
Right, and if we don't get anything, we don't get anything. If we do, we do.
Right. Oh yeah, it's been a while since since Rip has been on any kind of investigation. It's been too long, really. Kind of missing that and wanting to get back into it, but it is what it is,
Absolutely, and we're going to keep going with it. I mean, there was a point where, unfortunately, we were being made fun of. People thought we were the worst team in the world.
Oh, you get that.
People thought we faked everything and all this.
Yeah.
But all of that came from because we had gotten a special opportunity to do a ghost hunting show at Six Flags for their Fright Fest.
Right. So you did basically.
So we did. So we did this ghost hunting.
You just had haters, people.
Right.
People are going to be that way.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was getting to the point where they were going on our personal Facebook pages and taking pictures of us and posting weird stuff about us. It's like, all right, that's technically harassment.
That is. It is. It's a defamation of characters too.
But. Huh. Oh, absolutely, and they were just having fun with it and all this, and I was just like, you know what, ignore them. So we just completely ignored them, anything like that, because I'm a better person. I'm not gonna stoop down to their level.
Right, and
even though there was a lot of stuff that I could have said that really could have got them in trouble that a lot of people didn't know.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm not going to say anything. It's not worth it.
Right. But honestly, it was all, I'm sure, jealousy. They would do it in a heartbeat if they had the chance, and they're just pissed that someone else does, Well, too bad, right? Lost again, dude.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Are you on a cell phone, by the way?
Uh-oh. Would it be easier just, I am on a cell phone?
Yeah, that's what I kind of thought. Yeah, because it's just
I was going to say, would it be easier for calling?
The problem is we don't have a landline out here. We're strictly satellite. But no, you're fine. That's fine. I can edit that dead time.
Oh, gotcha.
You're fine.
Gotcha.
So when you were working with Ursula, what especially at Bachelor's Grove, anything that really spooked you there? Oh
yeah, like Bachelor's Grove is just something in itself. We've had a lot of experiences down there at Bachelor's Grove.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lake that's behind the cemetery,
mm-hmm.
where they say that Al Capone used to throw his victims
his
and all
bodies.
that.
Yeah.
They're still trying to figure that out if that's true or not. But we could have swore that we heard a little girl that stays down there. She always wears like a white dress.
Right.
And people have seen her. They've heard her. We could have swore that we heard her a long time ago. And it was just, I don't know, just walking into that place was just creepy on its own. I mean, there's apparently a big barn that appears when you walk towards it, or when you walk away from it, it
mm-hmm.
appears, and then when you walk towards it, it disappears. It's, I don't know, there's a whole bunch of weird stuff with
kind of like a mirage kind of thing.
Right. Yep. Just like a mirage. And I mean, Ursula she's put us in her book because
mm-hmm.
we've had experiences, and she's put a lot of other people in her books. And
mm-hmm.
I think right now with Ursula, she's taken a small break.
Yeah. Well, everyone needs some downtime, right?
With everything.
Yeah, everyone needs downtime. Was it was it you I was talking to not too long ago about?
Absolutely.
About it was a restaurant, a famous one that recently, well, not recently, but a couple of years ago, burnt down there in Chicago, I think.
Yeah, that was the.
That's the what?
Yeah, that's actually where we had. That was the. I'm trying to think of the restaurant now.
I know, that's my problem. Yeah, with the creek running through it and the little girl drowned in there. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Right.
Oh man. Anyway, that was it was you, and that is, you do know what I was talking about. Yeah, because I always wanted to go there myself, but then all of a sudden it's burned.
Yeah.
So damn.
Oh yeah, well, that's where. Well, it was funny because I think it was 10 days later. So Ursula had her Paracon there,
mm-hmm.
and 10 days later it burned down.
10 days later. Oh wow.
Yeah, it burned down. So it was really.
Did they ever find out what happened? How?
It's kind of creepy.
Did they ever find out the actual cause of the fire, or?
Apparently there was some electrical problem. Is what it sounded like.
Yeah. Huh. Still though, that is kind of.
Yeah, because it was on Archer Avenue.
Yeah. That is. It's still though. That's kind of creepy, especially to her.
Yeah.
10 days afterwards, like, oh my God, did I do something? Did I cause something? Wow.
Right.
Okay, one more since you're in Chicago. What about everybody knows Resurrection Mary? How about that? Any stock in that, or just another legend?
I mean, we've never had anything with Resurrection Mary. I know a lot of people have seen her and stuff, and I know Ursula has wrote a couple things about her too. I mean, it's very, very interesting. But I mean, for like our group and stuff like that, we haven't really noticed anything. I wouldn't mind getting into the cemetery though to see.
Can you do that anymore?
Anything does happen.
Can you do that anymore? I mean, no, here you can't go anywhere after dark.
Not Yeah, same with Chicago.
Right.
They're very, very strict, which makes perfect sense.
Yeah, because a lot of people just
some
destroy
places
everything.
that you can go, you have to have a right. You gotta have a permit. You gotta have all that stuff.
Right. It's just sad. I mean,
and it's very costly.
Right. I mean, like one of the legend places around here, the 100 Steps Cemetery. It's all gated off now. You can't, it's just bad. But, something you have to do, I suppose, because the way people are.
Yeah.
What's your personal best? Your favorite? What's your personal best? Your most memorable, let's just say, other than what got you started, your most memorable paranormal experience that you've had? I mean, at a full body, whatever, just scared you beyond belief.
Well, there's definitely the Pollock Hospital in Peoria, Illinois. It was a very old tuberculosis hospital, and we're really good friends with Sylvia Schultz, and she has written a book about the Pollock Hospital.
Okay.
And that's when we met her at Ursula's Ghost Convention, and we went there, and that place was just unbelievable. We literally captured a spirit go through a wall and walk down a hallway.
No kidding.
On our camera. But the thing that really terrified me is, because one, I hate dolls with a passion. I can't stand them. I hate dolls, with a passion.
Yeah.
Which is funny because at the end of October, when we go to the Warrens Paracon, they're going to have the original Annabelle.
Yeah, so guess what? Yeah.
So, we'll see how all that goes. I figure I might as well face my fear with the biggest haunted doll there is.
Right.
But we were in the doll room.
Mm-hmm.
And with the doll room, there's another room that's completely across. And we're getting ready to take a break, and all of a sudden I just happened to look to my right, and full on, I saw a lady walk past the doorway with a gown on, and then she looked at me and she gave me the weirdest smile, and then she disappeared. After that, I was
wow!
I need a break.
Right? Yeah, that would have freaked me out too.
I was like, all right, and that was the first time that was the first time I've ever seen a apparition, face to face. I was like, oh my god.
and you made eye contact with it. Now that has to creep you out real bad. Yeah.
Right, and that was creepy because she gave me a weird smile, and I was like, ugh.
I know you see me.
Yeah. And then definitely another place that's just phenomenal would be the old Baraboo Inn in Baraboo, Wisconsin.
Okay. Now that's isn't that where,
place? It was a very old.
Isn't that where they do a few cons there or events there? The Baraboo Inn with Mary Marshall and everyone.
They haven't done. Well, Mary Marshall does a lot of stuff up there. Amelia Cotter has been up there.
Yeah.
They don't. I don't remember if they've done events or anything like that, or cons. I mean, they do events. We actually just helped them with an event.
Right. Well, not necessarily.
That whole place is it's one. Right. Yeah, that whole place is just one big paranormal activity itself.
Right. Yeah, because I didn't mean necessarily cons, but they do have events there, or have had events there. I can recall.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely a great place. BC, the owners, he's an amazing guy. He's great. He really takes care of the spirits there, along with he gets a lot of help from his sister Shelley, and they're fantastic people.
Right. Now, yeah, you're not a big fan of dolls, so I'll give you one place you can go if you haven't been there. You could go down to New Orleans to Bloody Mary's place. She's got a place that's nothing but a doll room, so you'd enjoy that.
Yep. No, thank you. I can't. I don't know what it is. Like if it's Chucky, that's fine. I laugh at Chucky. I don't care. But dolls just creep me out completely.
Right. Kind of creepy. Yeah, I understand, dude. Because I'm the same way when it comes to a haunting that involves. I don't know why. But I am the same way when it comes to a haunting that involves children. I get so creeped out by the thought of a ghost child. I don't know why. It's just weird, and it just bugs me. You know. But yeah, I get it.
Yeah, it's I mean, that's creepy too. Like I don't know what it is. So we'll see how the end of October goes.
There you go. Look forward to hearing about it. Yeah. Do a selfie with Annabelle.
Oh yeah.
All right, Nick, we're gonna let you go, man.
They said we can take pictures.
Yeah. So. Well, you know, Dead Zone.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
All right, Dead Zone has Dead Zone Annie too. We take with us now and again. That's just a replica of Annabelle, right?
Oh wow.
I don't know if you knew that or not. Yeah,
okay.
We've got the whole box and the whole thing, but we don't call her Annabelle. It's Dead Zone Annie. So there's no confusion. Yeah. Anyway, Nick, thanks for coming on, man, and we will have you back if that's okay. Is that good with you?
Yeah, absolutely. I had a great time. Thank you very much.
All right, man. Talk to you soon. Hey, this is Lee. Has the pandemic got you going crazy like it does us? Well, just a reminder. Poasttown Elementary School presents Non-Con 6, Middleton, Ohio. A legit haunted school, an event with tons of people already signing up. It's all over the Facebook page. And it's free. Pretty much it's free. You got to check it out. September 24th, 25th, and 26th. Just Google Non-Con 6. And for more information, you can contact Jason Snyder, Keith Age, or Daryl Weissman.
I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Yes! I found it at last! Marla's sacred cauldron. This is the legendary artifact that has been whispered about in hushed tones for hundreds of years, and now it's mine! All mine!
Who dares defile the sanctity of my castle walls? Step away from the cauldron, you impertinent, muddy-mettled maltworm.
Never! I've spent half my lifetime trying to discover your age-old secret of stirring the cauldron!
Oh, for Merlin's sake, that's no deep, dark secret. Just tune into the Para X Radio Network Thursday nights at 9 o'clock Eastern for more cauldron stirring than you can shake a wand at.
Oh. Well, in that case, I guess I don't need to take up any more of your time, so I guess I'll be going.
Not just yet. We've got a little unfinished business to take care of.
That's Stirring the Cauldron with Marla Brooks every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern on the Para X Radio Network.
If you've enjoyed this episode, share it with your friends.
This is the Dead Zone Paranormal Radio Show.
Thanks for listening.